Financial accounting, general ledger, and document entry. FB50. Now, document date and posting date in SAP are two different concepts. Document date can be of in the past or in the future. Posting date is when it updates in the system. Okay. I'll change the company code 8842 and 300 pence to cash, right? 30201 debit 300 10101 credit star. By star, it will copy this amount, any other amounts which are in the document. Assignment is just not a narration, but this assignment field is used for reconciliation in banks, in vendor, in material. Okay. Enter. Okay. Period 2 is not open. Open and close. Posting periods. AA42. Continue. Okay. Save. Now we can go back and continue with the transaction. Okay. Enter. Number range is missing for the year. Okay. Okay. Customizing. Customizing. Yeah. Continue without specifying project. Okay. Copy to company code, copy to fiscal year. Company code 8842, number range is all. Source fiscal year is 2023, 2024. Interval is added. Okay. Enter. Entry is required cost center field. Okay, cost center in 8842. Let's find out any cost centers, which I believe is C001. C001. Enter. Cost element category for account 30201. Fair enough. FS00. Okay, 8842302001. This is chart of accounts 30201. I will edit it and modify it. And what is asking? It says cost element category. So for that, I need primary cost element. Now, what is a cost element and what is a GL? GL is for finance and cost element is for controlling. It's the mirror copy of GL. Okay. Okay, we have cost element category 01. We'll talk about this later, that how we make cost elements and what is the categories. Okay, enter. Enter. Okay, we'll have to refresh this transaction. FP50. One zero one. Debit, credit, 300. Okay, cost center will be C001. Enter. Cost center does not exist. Okay, we'll have to find out what cost center is existing on this company code. 8842, start search. Okay, double Caesar. Okay, enter. Okay, now it says it's all green, all equal, and post. Enter. Okay, document 10 was posted in company code. Now, what I've actually done is, because it was easy for me to pass an entry. Why? Because I have the GL accounts made. I have cost centers made. Uh, I have the company code made. And if I want to see what has been written in this document, I'll go to display. Okay, now this is my document. Okay, and if you look at it, what elements have we used here? We have used GLs, we have used posting keys, we have used posting periods, we have used document numbers. Okay, we have used company code, cost centers, profit centers. Everything is being picked up. Why? Because we have configured everything like these at the back end. What have we configured? Just a second. We have configured profit centers. We have configured cost centers. We have configured GL accounts, chart of accounts first, and then the GL account master data. Okay. So let me just put that down in notes so that it's easy for you to understand the underlying concept. Now, what is that concept? Taking this GL account, what have we configured? What have we done? We have passed on a document, okay? An accounting document. And what have we used in that? Company code, posting period, profit centers, uh, cost centers, um, GL accounts, and what is basically governing GL accounts? It's chart of accounts. Okay, we have also configured this. And when we are talking about chart of accounts, it is an independent element. It can be assigned to any company code. So we have assigned chart of accounts to company. Chart of accounts is assigned to company code. Okay. And if you're talking about posting periods, we're also talking about fiscal year variant. Okay. Now, since we have seen profit centers, and profit centers, there's this area where we assign default profit centers to GL accounts that we have seen, because during the entry, it did not ask me for any profit center because we have already integrated these profit centers with these accounts. And why do we do this? Because I'll give you an example, a very simple example. For example, a branch of a subsidiary, okay, it purchases, let's say, now this a branch can be a money exchange, okay. It purchases security cameras, okay. It procures, it is in a different city, so it procures from its city and gets it installed, okay. And the invoice is billed to the parent company, okay. This is a process. So the subsidiary doesn't pay, it's the principal, the head office that will pay. What will it pay? Cash or bank transfer or whatever. Okay. So when we are dealing with cash purchases, bank transfers, and reconciliation, head office has to keep a tight control over it. Okay. So head office will want that cash GL accounts are directly managed at the head office and by none other person, no one else. Okay. So any GL accounts will then be assigned to profit centers that are related with head office. Okay. So that's why we assign default profit centers so that we can know what operations are being done. Okay. This was done. This was an activity that was carried out, but then head office should also know how much of finances were moved to accomplish this activity. Okay. And speaking of GL entry, okay. Speaking of GL entry, we also spoke of document splitting, right? It happens when vendor and vendor items, let's say journal entries, are involved, which that also involves sales tax, the withholding tax. Okay. So now vendor items are for consuming, for example. Okay. So segment reporting says that vendor items have to be split between various profit centers. There are three criteria for that, right? That is business area, profit centers, uh, third is, I'm forgetting it. Anyways, business area, segment, I guess segment. I believe segment. I can't remember, but segment. Okay. So you can then split vendor items, sales, tax items, and withholding tax between profit centers using document splitting and default profit center GL accounts. We've already discussed document splitting in very detail. So in order to bring everything in place, we need to go through a lot of configurations, unwanted configurations. You can call it unwanted because it seems boring, but it's necessary, right? And with document splitting, we also have currency valuation profile, we have ledgers, we have currency types, and we have global currency types, we have valuation types. Okay, we have to configure this as well. Why? Because let me tell you that, taking that example of this thing. Okay, or let me copy this. Now this activity was done, let's say, in January 2024. Okay, and it was carried out for, let's say, dirhams 20,000. 20,000. Okay, with hardware and vendor services. Okay, so now the head office, let's say, is not here, but it's located in Singapore. Okay, in Singapore, they want to report on this. So they will want to report in USD, in Singaporean dollar. Okay, USD, why? Because global currency, uh, global currency. Okay, and why Singaporean dollar? Because uh, they get their books audited from Singaporean auditors, accountancy companies, audit companies, okay, firms, accounting firms. So the the expense is done in dirhams, or the report is going in USD SGD. So just to reduce your journal entries in multiple currencies, we configure currency types, currencies, okay, and what else? We we also configure ledgers. Okay. Now we've already seen what are currency types and currencies. We've seen this in details, and we've also discussed ledgers. Okay. And this basically is what becomes your baseline configuration so that you can pass on entries. Okay. So where do we access it first? We start from enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting. And over here, of course, we start with company code. Then we start with the uh, plant value, plant location. Then in material management, we look at storage location, purchase organization. When definition is done, we go for assignment. That is company to company assignment. Okay. And in financial accounting, we go for general ledger accounting, master data, GL accounts, preparations, and we create chart of accounts. Okay. We create chart of accounts so that we can make master data, and then when master data is done, we do business transactions for document splitting. So we've already made LB03. This is the document. Okay, this is the business transaction using document splitting and master data. We've already made master data. Okay, so far this is what we have actually done. Okay,